wellness space, and wellness and good nutrition is just an important part of longevity. I really feel like, I'm 62 years old today. I can do 200 push-ups, ride my bike for an hour, and that doesn't come just like that. It comes from making some decisions. And I reached out to a friend of mine. His name is Dave Vinitsky, and Dave is an expert not only in nutrition but fat loss. And in fact, he has created a program that can absolutely change your life. He's an internationally known best-selling author. He's, I believe, America's newest authority on successful weight loss, and I believe feeling good in especially these crazy times that we're in right now. So, Dave, thanks so much for being here, man.
Thanks for having me, Terry. Appreciate it.
Yeah, before we jump into some of the questions, let's give our listeners a little bit background on your story. So how did you get into this space? I know that your background is an attorney, so that's a big shift from attorney to, health, nutrition, and fat loss expert.
Well, if you look at me now, most people wouldn't realize at one time I was fat, but I was. And it was in July of 2016 that my doctor told me, based on my lab results and being overweight, I had a 95% chance for a heart attack. So he gave me two options: lose weight or find a new doctor, because he didn't want me dying on his shift. And as a friend told me, I saw the light but didn't want to head toward the light. So with that sword hanging over my head, I shed 50 pounds during the next 4 months. And I started reading books that I had back from the 70s, because like many of us, I was always fit and trim, but life gets in the way, and before you know it, the weight creeps up on you. I started reading those books and started reading current books and realized that the current books had a lot of misinformation. So I wrote a book, Discover Your Thinner Self, to talk about my weight loss journey. And then I just came out with the second one, If Not Now, Reduce Weight, Create a Healthy Lifestyle in 90 Days. And my goal is to help as many people reduce weight as possible, because most people don't realize 90 or 75% of the US adult population is overweight, of which 41% are clinically obese. So what that means to the audience is if you're at a social gathering with 10 other people, 7 of you are overweight. And with today's virus going around, it's important to build up your immune system and to reduce weight to keep healthy.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about what people can do with the virus and all the uncertainty that's going on right now to reduce their risk. And there are no guarantees, but it's all about those little things that add up over a long period of time, right? It's called the compound effect.
Exactly. One of our favorite people, Darren Hardy.
You got it.
One of the things you can do is drink more water. 75% of the US population is chronically dehydrated. People spend more on sodas and diet sodas than on water, yet our bodies are 60 to 70% water. So you wouldn't feed your pets, your dogs or animals, soda or diet soda, yet people drink that all day. It's one of the worst things you can do for your health. So one of the things you can do that they're recommending is drink a lot of water, mostly room temperature water or even warm water. And the other day, I found some research that suggested that if you add some fresh lemon in it, get a lemon and slice it and put it in there, that it actually helps prevent the coronavirus from spreading to your body.
So why water that's room temperature or warm versus on ice? You have any idea there?
Yes, what they're saying is that heat actually acts as a deterrent to the coronavirus in your mouth. So if you're drinking room temperature or warm water, it helps it fight from attacking your system. Now, this is just some of the natural remedies that they're talking about. But again, if we're 60 to 70% water, why not drink water instead of fruit juices or, sodas or fruit juice beverages? A lot of them contain chemicals, extra added sugar, very little nutritional benefit. People think that orange juice is healthy. It's not. It takes 4 to 8 medium oranges to make a glass of orange juice. And I asked people, would you eat 4 to 8 oranges at one sitting? Most people would say no. Yet that's how much sugar people are putting in their body when they're drinking a glass of orange juice. Most of it's already been processed, and most of it has very little pulp, if any.
So pulp is a good thing as opposed to a bad thing?
Yes, pulp is good because you need the fiber.
Uh,
That's another thing that if people are deficient in fiber, that helps your body immune system. So again, most of the population lacks enough dietary fiber. You need, if you're a female, you need about 38 grams of dietary fiber a day. If you're a male, you should get about 50 grams of dietary fiber. And I think if people would look at how much fiber they're actually getting, they would be surprised at how little there is. That's why, holistic foods, the fruits and vegetables and berries and nuts are so important to a person's diet as opposed to, a Pop Tart or a piece of
yeah.
processed bread or a bagel or a donut.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about the foods that we should be consuming and the foods specifically that help the immune system, David.
Well, in my opinion, Terry, uh, an organic apple is probably the healthiest food you can eat. It has a lot of phytonutrients, thousands of them, and there's a lot of other benefits to eating an apple. You should eat it with the skin on because that's where most of the nutritional benefit is. Uh, Avocados are extremely healthy for you. They're higher in potassium by 2 or 3 times than a banana. Uh, they have a lot of good soluble fiber in them. So, and it's got a lot of great healthy fat, which is important to your body for the joints and also for your mind, your brain, how it works. So, those two things alone, some people don't like avocados, some love them. Uh, an apple or an avocado every day, that's probably the two best things you can eat. People are under the misimpression that if they eat a banana, that's healthy for them. It may be a little bit, but it also creates people gaining weight. It's high in sugar and low in fiber.
Mm.
And so that's why an avocado is better than a banana. And there's things that we talk about with net fiber versus gross fiber. And what I mean by that is if you eat an apple, which is 100 calories, it may take 25 calories for your body to digest and process it. So your net calories is 75. If you eat a Hershey bar, which is about 120 calories, that's 120 calories gross. Your body doesn't need anything to process it. That's what we call empty calories. And there's no nutritional benefit to it.
Yeah, yeah. Other than that craving of that sweet to get satisfied, which there's, I mean, I think if you do things like, and I always have a couple of apples. I have my plate of apples, and I think this is part of it. You know, you make it easy to succeed for yourself. So instead of grabbing junk, if I can just grab an apple, I'm good to go. And I have 2 jugs of water here. So I think when it comes to health and nutrition, people don't plan ahead and make it easy for themselves to succeed. And I think that's important thing to do.
Exactly. Another tip that they
Go ahead.
go ahead.
No, I was going to say,
I was
let's
going to
talk a
say
little
another
bit
little
about.
tip that people.
Go ahead.
What I was going to say is a little tip people can do is uh, carry some raw nuts, almonds, walnuts, cashews, pistachios, unsalted. Count them out. 7 to 10 of each, not at the same time. 7 to 10 of almonds or walnuts or cashews is about 100 calories. Eat it slowly, but it's a little snack and gives you a little energy and has some protein and healthy fats in there for you.
Which one of those? I've heard my wife is big on the nuts, and I don't really do it. I mean, I have almonds and then pecans and then cashews, and I think she said like pecans are best, and then almonds and then cashews. Any priority order from your perspective in terms of raw nuts?
Well, in my opinion, almonds are top for weight loss, and then
Mm-hmm.
walnuts, and then pistachios, pecans, and then after that, it's take your pick. Probably lowest on the chain is macadamia nuts because they're very, very high in calories
Right.
and fat content. And even though maybe healthy fat, those calories add up really quick, and you only need 1 or 2 of those for an entire day.
What about peanuts?
I would avoid peanuts. They're actually not a nut; they're a legume.
Ah, okay.
So it's a
That's
different family. It's
yeah, we get tricked in that by the fancy marketing out there, right?
exactly. And you don't want to have the peanut butter that's processed in the stores, the Jif or the Skippy. That's all got hydrogenated oil in it, and that's really bad for you, no matter what they say.
Yeah.
So if you're going
Yeah.
to eat,
Yeah.
almond butter's great. Yeah. If you're going to get peanut
So
butter, I would get the stuff that's ground fresh in the store.
yeah, that's certainly the best, I believe. So you know, a lot of people right now are stuck working at home or at home for a week or 2 weeks or however long this thing is going to last. How if somebody I want to talk about how do you lose weight in a healthy, sustainable manner, but I think before we get to that conversation, David, I want to talk about how do people set themselves up for success while they're at home so they don't go on a grazing binge with all the junk food, and how do they maintain a good, healthy nutrition plan?
Well, the first thing is, as I said before, increase their water intake. If they would drink more water, have a glass or two before each meal, one mid morning, one mid afternoon, that would get them sufficient water. There's different opinions as to what is the correct amount of water each person should drink. The two rules of thumb is one is 8 ounces or 64 ounces of water a day. The other is one half of your body weight. So there's different opinions. Whatever works for you is fine. You can't go wrong if you're drinking a minimum of 64 ounces of water each day. The other thing they can do is do some push-ups in the house, do some sit-ups. You don't have to do a lot. You said you do 200 a day. Maybe do 5 or 10 to start with. As you know, I do between 40 and 50 every day. Do some squats. Again, if you don't know how to do it properly, start out slowly. If you have some lightweight dumbbells, 10, 15, 25 pounds, you can do a couple reps. Usually takes about 5 minutes, and that's all you really need to maintain your muscle tone. There's a difference between exercising to build muscle, and the other thing is people think if they exercise and work out more that's the best way to lose weight. They'd be wrong on that. What they've found from doing research is 90 to 95% of weight loss is based on your dietary intake.
Mm.
So avoid the processed foods, eat more of the holistic foods. I joke on Facebook that, when I go to the store, I don't have to worry about what's on the shelves because people are buying the processed stuff as opposed to the healthy stuff. So it's always there. The fresh produce, the apples, the pears, the avocados, the salads. So I find that a little bit ironic that here we're supposed to be increasing our immune system by eating healthier, and yet people are still eating processed foods, which, if you read the nutritional fact label and the panels on the packaging, you'd be surprised of what kind of chemicals are in there.
Yeah, it's kind of scary if you really are that aware in terms of all the chemicals that our body is bombarded, which goes back to what you opened with and talking about the immune system and making sure that you give the body what the body needs so the body can do what the body's supposed to do. You can't give your body junk and expect good things to come out. Garbage in, garbage out type thing.
Exactly. And I believe it was Hippocrates that said that have food as thy medicine. And unfortunately, people use it the other way around. Um, they use food as comfort. They use it as for social gathering. Most people don't view food as fuel for your body. I now treat my body like a machine. So I want to make sure I'm putting the right fuel in it as opposed to bad fuel, the junk food. The other thing is people may not be aware that there's something called the bliss point, which is where it's a term uh, coined by Howard Moskowitz. He was hired by the food industries to scientifically engineer our foods to optimize our cravings for salt, fat, sugar, and texture. So when they say, bet you can't eat just one, it's not a dare, it's a fact.
Yeah. It's yeah. Marketing can definitely work against us, and it's fascinating if you stop and are aware of all the science behind getting a potato chip to taste the way it does from a salt standpoint, from a crunch standpoint, as opposed to just eating raw fruits and vegetables that you can get at the grocery store that are actually good for you.
The other thing I'd recommend, Terry, is use a salad plate instead of a dinner size plate. The reason
Mm.
being we've been supersized without realizing it. At least our food portions have. In the 1900s, the average size diameter of a dinner plate was 9 inches. Today, it's about 12 inches, some a little bit more. In restaurants, the average serving size is 13 to 15 inches on what the dishes they use to serve, food. So I always tell clients, cut
Wow.
it in half, take half to go. And that way you get 2 meals for the price of one and you're saving money. Now, today with restaurants being closed temporarily, again, use a salad plate instead of a dinner size plate. And that way you can reduce your portions. Don't go back for seconds. Eat slower. Put your spoon or fork down between bites. I used to inhale my food, use my utensils like a shovel to get it in as fast as possible. So again, now eat slower because what else are you going to do? And
Yeah.
the other thing
Yeah.
is
Absolutely.
when you're eating, yeah, just focus on eating. Avoid working at the computer while you're eating or avoid watching TV. That's what we call mindless eating. You'll eat your food before you realize it, and your body doesn't realize that it's full.
Right. I've done that many times. That's for sure. So that's a great tip. Now I know you have a course, a program called the Thinner Self Plan. Talk a little bit about that.
It's your thinner self plan, and it's a 12-week course. It's online where people can go and do it at their own pace. There's an action guide to go along with the videos. The videos are anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. I wanted to keep it short so that people could get through it very quickly. Uh, so you don't have to go anywhere. You do it out of the comfort of your home. Everything's online. There's a little scorecard to help you keep track of your weight loss journey and your successes. And when people complete the 12-week course, there's a special reward I give them. I don't want to spoil it what it is because you need to complete the course as you go along, to receive it.
That's pretty cool. And you've had a lot
The
of
other thing
students go
is,
through that and have pretty
yeah,
good success.
yes, the people that have gone through it have been, they like it because number one, it's self-paced. Number two, there's support. On Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern time, we do the Zoom meetings. They're 20 minutes of live question and answer. And so people can reach out to me through email or the Zoom meetings or even a phone call. The other thing is we modify your eating behaviors. I've identified 10 eating behaviors that people can improve on and change. We've talked about a few of them today with drinking more water, reducing portion sizes, avoiding processed foods, and eating slower. These are things people should do. And then throughout the course, they're told tips on how they can do it. And that's the difference. We all know what to do. Most of us just don't do it. And we go through the psychological, emotional, and mental aspect of eating and how to change your mental outlook at food and how to view your relationship with it. Again, treat it as fuel for your body as opposed to, for social gatherings. I explain how you can handle that situation. How when restaurants are open, you can actually go into a restaurant, not even look at a menu and order what you want. So we give
That's pretty
guidance on how to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I certainly appreciate you, David, spending some time with us this morning. I know a lot of people can get some tremendous value, not only from your book, but certainly your program, the accountability, and to have somebody, holding your hand so that you can create some new habits. And I think, anytime somebody makes a shift like that, it's so important to have a coach or a mentor who has been there and done that. So, if you're watching this, you can learn more about David's program at terrypetrovic.com/thinner. It'll take you to his website where you can get access to him via phone, via email. He has a Facebook community as well. I appreciate each and every one of you, taking time to watch this interview today, and know that you have a choice. Happiness is a choice, good nutrition, and I believe health is a choice. And now more than ever, we need to make good choices for our immune system and our overall health. David, any last closing thoughts?
No, just hope everybody stays safe, stay healthy, and just drink more pure water. And if they want, they can also go to createyourthinnerself.com, Terry. Thanks so much for having me as a guest. I really appreciate it.
All right, everybody have a great one. Until next time, remember this: you have a choice. Make it a better than terrific day and a prosperous one, because you, yes, you, absolutely deserve it. Bye-bye for now.